What's up? What's up? Monday, baby. In the Earlverse. It probably is. Just you and me, buddy. Because I know that there's probably 5 Dabbleverse streams happening right now. And let me see. Let me see what I know. Isn't that right? EA Sports. It's in Saudi Arabia. I mean, those Saudis got the money, honey. I mean, they don't fuck around. And that was probably a nothing purchase for them. I mean, literally nothing. Did you wish Dabbling John? I did not. We don't really do the Dabbleverse stuff in here. I mean, I saw a. Sorry, just adjusting the good old camera here. I saw some stream he was doing where he was drunk or whatever, and it was just really sad. Like, I felt bad for the guy. Well, you're probably right on that, DK. No doubt about that. I mean, I'm looking right now. You got Nobody Likes Onions, 53 people watching. It's probably all Dabbleverse. Chad's on right now. He's got 300 people talking, probably all Dabbleverse talk. Perry Caravello, who I just find to be the most unfunny person on the planet. 138 people watching. So, oh, you don't have to time out, DK. I mean, he's right. I can't argue when someone is right. But my day's all right. I'd rather have 16 people in here than have a couple hundred people and have to talk about Stuttering John. What is timing? Timing out means if someone's trolling and they're just being a genuine nuisance, they get put in timeout for a few seconds. What up, CC Motion? So not a lot of people get timed out. Very few people get timed out. But, from time to time, it does happen, And, this stream is basically done for free by me, which I don't mind because I make my money in other avenues. But, the moderators, they're not getting paid by me. They do it because they're friends or fans or both. And so, we try and keep it no drama. And, what up, Scoot? Drunken Donuts, if someone leaves, you can be a moderator, but I don't really need 8 moderators for this channel. Yeah, you're on the YouTube list waiver. Yeah, you be chilling. Well, I've only been streaming for 5 minutes, so I don't know what you mean by that. And I just woke up. So most streamers would not be streaming right now. You're just fucking around. All right, well, that's good, Drunken Donuts. No. Well, you're right, I guess, on that. No, you got to pay for that, baby. Just because then everyone wants something for free in here. Say this, say that. I can't do that. No, I'm an AEW guy, J. Rome. So, you're not even right with your trolling. If you've listened to this stream at all, which I know you have, I'm AEW, baby. So, you better behave with that kind of talk. Okay, YM, you're just saying the name Billy. I don't know what that is supposed to mean, to be honest with you. Yeah, we don't do that kind of stream, Joe. I know, but we don't really need another moderator right now at the moment. So, well, he's in the loop. He's next up in case, Flat Cat Jessica has not been seen in this stream in months. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. She might be. Now, someone told me that Patrick Melton ran her off the internet, but I don't know what that means because I don't really keep up with that world. So we'll figure it out. And what up? What up from Switzerland? In the house. Switzerland in the house. Home of Matt Zuccarillo. I don't know what you mean by that, YM. I mean, DK, come on now. You can do better than that. Thank you, Drunken Donuts. Thank you. I appreciate that. Everyone thinks I'm Hulk. Everyone thinks I'm the actor Mark Ruffalo. Pretty sure Mark Ruffalo would have more people in here than 15. But, it's all good. This stream is about having a good time, just chilling. We don't do puzzles in here. Skakel, alive and well. I always am. I always am. So, you got some trolls coming in. Welcome, trolls. I see some of you are about as funny as the other trolls, and that's not very, to be honest with you. But we don't do riddles in here. We don't do puzzles. We don't do math problems. What up? What up? Skakel in the house. I try not to talk about Dabbleverse for free. I mean, I do kind of have a loose rule that Beloved Chatter or Doom have to be in the stream to talk about it. But, since you're a longtime supporter of the channel, you can talk about the Dabbleverse, Mr. Drunken Donuts. I bet you do like loose. It's all good. You weren't being impolite. You didn't know. But, we like to keep this stream, we talk about stand-up comedy. We talk about wrestling. We talk about what famous comics are closeted, stuff like that. Yes, well then you get to whoa, David. We don't use that kind of language in here. But you did do the GGA version, so I appreciate that. Rat all the way, not even close. Lois is doing well. We just went on a semi-long walk, and I am real, baby. I am real. So I appreciate you asking. And, she's about 15. She might even be 16, to be honest with you. So, that is, she's getting up there for sure. But, we'll see what happens. I love her a lot. Little Davis, we don't talk about that stuff in here. I'm going to send you to Chad Zumach's stream. I follow hockey and football. So it is deep like Mandingo. The funniest chicken crossing the road is, Mario Lemieux is pretty good, to be honest with you. The scary thing is if he would have had the supporting cast that Wayne Gretzky had. You look at when Gretzky was playing, and don't worry about what I own. Let's break down your finances first. Gretzky had Yari Curry, arguably the greatest scoring winger of all time, Glenn Anderson, Mark Messier. Dave Semenko, maybe. I mean, Probert's the best fighter of all time, but Semenko might, if this makes any sense, might be the best goon of all time. Um, and then you have Paul Coffey on defense, Grant Fuhr, arguably the greatest money goalie of all time. Um, Lemieux had none of that in his early years, in his formative years. He was playing with Warren Young, Rob Brown, Gary Rissling, Jay Caulfield. I mean, he didn't have a lot of support. Um, we don't do the Jesus talking here, guys. I'm going to send you to Kevin Brennan's stream, which starts in about 45 minutes. I've never been to England. I hear my stand-up comedy routine would do well. I'm like an American version of Jimmy James Carr. So one day I hope to go to England to do stand-up. Yeah, Zetterberg and Datsuk were awesome. Steve Eierseman. Yeah, Tom, we don't do that kind of talking here. Were you a fan of the Detroit Red Wings? Yeah, Sergei Fedorov, Konstantinov, Mike Vernon in goal, Chris Osgood in goal, Chris Draper. I've heard of Frankie Boyle, but I've never seen him. I don't watch stand-up comedy, if that makes any sense to you guys. Yeah, Charlie Huddy was a great defensive defenseman. Steve Smith, a tough guy. Randy Gregg was good. Dave Hunter. You had Ken Linsman in there at certain times. Maybe the greatest agitator of all time. So, Edmonton had it all, but, they had to lose to the Islanders first to learn how to win. So, yeah, Lidstrom, maybe the greatest all-around defenseman ever. So, yeah, I don't, people keep asking me, would I have gone to Saudi Arabia to that comedy festival? And I would not have. Yeah, I mean, I actually had Ed Hospodar on my podcast. I have a podcast I do very randomly now called Inappropriate Earl, and I had Ed Hospodar on. Ed Hospodar was the Philadelphia Flyer defenseman who, when Claude Lemieux shot the puck into the net in the pregame warmups, Hospodar went out there and attacked him. Yeah, rest in peace, Bernie Parent. Rest in peace, Ken Dryden. And rest in peace, New York Ranger legend Eddie Giacomin. So, rough week for goaltenders last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Pelle Lindbergh, one of the greats, died driving his Porsche, almost very similar to how Magnum TA, the wrestler, almost died. Earl, are you excited about Rush touring next year? Who's going to be their drummer, though? I mean, I'm not a Rush fan. Their songs are just too technical for me. And John Stagliano, Buttman, I know that reference. A lady drummer. I saw an advertisement for it. I mean, good luck following Neil Peart, but I'm sure she's got the chops. The best enforcer. I'm sorry to hear that, DK. I mean, Probert and Koster were the best fighters. And weirdly enough, I would have wanted to fight Probert versus Koster because Koster could legit hurt you. I mean, he broke guys' faces. He broke helmets when he punched. It's hard to break a helmet. They're incredibly hard plastic. And then, Semenko in the early Edmonton days, he was just menacing. Like the no helmet, the hair flowing. Other great enforcers. I mean, Wendell Clark, although he was a complete player. Yeah, I'll go to a few King games this year. I mean, Domi's a great tough guy. I mean, Schultz. I don't respect Schultz that much because when he left the Flyers and came to the Kings, it was a little different when you had to fight your own battles. In Philadelphia, he had like 6 guys as backup. So it's a little easy to start shit and know that, who else was on that team? I mean, Bobby Clark, Darnhorfer, um, Kelly, I think Glenn Cochran, Ben Wilson. I mean, big Hoyta. That's why you saw in the '70s, like the Rangers loading up. They go out and trade for Barry Beck, and you have Eddie Johnstone and Frank Beaton, and the Maloney brothers could fight. Duguay could fight Ashley, which is weird, but Bruins obviously loaded up. So I respect Gary Cheever's no mask goalie even back then. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah, Selesky was a tough kid. Um, another guy who just died. Fuck, I forget. But the Flyers literally, like 10 of their 18 skaters were tough guys. Um, well, I think the problem with Schultz was that once he came to the Kings, and the Kings had some tough teams. You know, uh, they had Maloney and you know, I mean, I don't know if Schultz played with Jay Wells, but um, the problem was that, you had to fight your own battles, and then he went to Pittsburgh for a little bit, same thing. You had to fight your own battles there, and then Schultz got killed by Clark Gillies, and that was it. Like Gillies was the new sheriff in town. Clark Gillies was probably up there in terms of great enforcers. I mean, no one fought with that guy. I mean, you look at Clark Gillies, and a lot of people he wasn't a great fighter. He didn't have 100 penalty minutes more than once or twice. That's because no one wanted to fight him, especially after what he did to Ed Hospodar's face when Hospodar was on the Rangers, and he basically broke his face in half. And Hospodar was never the same. Um, you know, Obviously Barry Beck, which is a name most people would not say was a great enforcer, but nobody wanted to fight Beck. Even him and Gillies had like a standalone deal, like, hey, you don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you. Um, I mean, Chara was probably the best fighter of his era. I mean, once again, nobody wanted to fight him. The guy was a legit 6'8", 270 pounds, no one in better shape in the league than Chara, and came from a Greco wrestling background. So you weren't gonna wrestle him to the ice. And people were like, "What do you mean he was an enforcer? He never fought." That's because he didn't have to. The guys who fight a lot, no one's afraid of them, so they'll fight them. Um, so Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not making fun of Schultz. He was definitely a tough guy, but I think playing in Philly was just the right place, right time for him. I don't know if he would have survived on, say, a team like the Kings if he came up with the Kings, where they had some tough players, but Philly took it to the extreme. I mean, literally, I don't think it's exaggerating. I would say 10 of their 18 skaters were very good fighters. Um, yeah, I mean, Chara is like, what is he? He's got to be in his 40s. He's no body fat. And I mean, you could see that one fight where he tossed around Pat Maroon like he was a 100-pound rag. And Pat Maroon's a fucking big guy. Was Pat Maroon about 6'4", 250? So best fighter now. It's tough because there's really not a lot of fighters. Um, I mean, probably Tom Wilson and that kid in Columbus, Didier. He doesn't lose. And he hits to hurt. Like he almost throws punches with the intensity of Kosar. I don't know what happened with Sanchez. Yeah, the big rig, but that one fight where Chara just because Maroon originally got him down because it was a pile up, and I think Chara tripped over someone, and then you could tell with little to no effort, Chara just manhandled Maroon. So writ of gaze. I mean, we're talking hockey, so I don't know where the writ of gaze comes in. Yeah, that Sanchez story is interesting. Seems like the video backs up the truck driver's story. 69 years old. I don't know. I mean, I'll assume Sanchez was shit faced and probably saw this guy's. I guess he just wanted to go in the truck, but you can't really do that. Truck drivers, it's like Harley riders. You don't touch a Harley rider's bike. So, but hit the like and subscribe button, please. I don't ask you guys for much, but I do ask you to do that, and I appreciate it very much when you do it. Um, I'm just a humble streamer. And by the way, trolls, if you haven't clued into it, I don't read your trolls unless you pay for the pleasure. None of you have any balls at all. Fake names, no picture, no subscribers. So you got to show me the money. And I guarantee you I look better than any of you. What up? What up? Thank you, thank you. This is a cool Thin Lizzy shirt. Indeed, it's a John Barbatos Thin Lizzy shirt. I mean, I think Don Callis is on AEW TV way too much. It's approaching like NWO, late NWO era of like you just don't care anymore. Like they should have kept it. See, what I think they should have done is reunite United Empire, which was Osprey, Fletcher, and Mark Davis. It's really not a retarded take. Even when I watched videos, when I did not make zero content, I had 1,000 subscribers. Friends, you become an online community. So it's really not a retarded take. So it's just not interesting to me. Like I love Rocky Romero, we're friends, but like, Lance Archer's being criminally wasted in the Don Callis family. So who would troll a comedian? You can troll a comedian because you can use a fake screen name, you can use no picture, and it's the ultimate keyboard warrior. I've always invited trolls to come see a stand-up show and say whatever you say online, say it to my face. And not so I can hate you. I'm not going to punch anyone in the face, but, sack up. Let your balls drop. You want to heckle in person. Wardlow's just injury prone. Some guys, I don't want. It's not retarded to me. It might be retarded to you, but like, you build an online community. You subscribe to someone else's channel, so they subscribe to your channel, and you guys trade content. Not like content like, hey, here's a video I like. Here's a Kiss video you should watch. Okay. You're on YouTube for 11 years. You don't have one subscriber, and what you're missing, Baba, is that trolls sometimes just join here because they have no friends in life. So I'm going to make fun of this guy who's actually happy with what he does. Now, do I wish I had more people in here? Absolutely. But I'm streaming to you 28 or 20 people because it is how it works, bro. Don't tell me how YouTube works. I've been on it longer than you. I think I know the game a little bit more than you do. No offense. I don't know what you do for a living, but like, It might not be how it works for you, and I can respect that, but how I approach YouTube, that is how it works. Like I said, when I wasn't putting videos up, I would watch a Kiss video from someone's channel and I'd hit their subscribe button. Hey, thanks for that video. Like, here's a video you should watch that I like on my channel. Here's a Cinderella video or whatever. So I didn't say I was Mr. YouTube CEO, but like, I think I know how YouTube works. Hopefully. Yeah, I love Pauly Shore. He's always very nice to me. Um, I mean, YouTube, I'm still learning on YouTube, to be honest with you. Like forever, I would talk to the trolls for free. I would read their insults, and then I'd be like, "What am I doing this for? You want to say I suck, or you're old, or you're gay, or a pedophile? Pay me for it." It's the Kevin Brennan business model. You know, Kevin, like, okay, you want to say my brother's funnier than me? I'm not gonna read that shit. Oh, you're gonna pay me $5 to read it? All right, I'll read it. I mean, Kevin trolls the trolls, so but everyone's different, you know. So I'm not saying I'm right for me. I'm not right for Baba Yoga. Um, I mean, Pauly's happy. You know how much Pauly gets trolled? Oh, you suck. You're from the '80s. You only a famous comic because your mom. Blah blah blah. And Pauly's funny, man. His one man show was really good. I mean, Pauly's like one of those '80s metal guitar players that like CC DeVille of Poison or Warren DeMartini of Rat, where they don't get the credit because in the videos they look like gay pirates. But I'll put Warren DeMartini up against any guitar player from a technical skill point. I mean, I went to see a Frank Zappa tribute show in Beverly Hills a couple of years ago, and Frank Zappa's music is very technically. You have to be proficient to play Frank Zappa music, and Warren DeMartini was the best by far on the show, but even better than Zappa's kid. So I do like Dice Clay. Um, Interesting waiver. Oh, I just wish the trolls were better. I mean, my trolls, it's the same shit. You're gay. You look like a pedophile. You're old. I mean, it's like they read out of the same book. But there are some trolls that they play with me. They ask me a stupid question. I give them a stupid answer. Then they ask me another stupid, and there's a banter there. But I can't really say anything. Oh, you suck. Okay. No, I'm funny. Um, yeah, I mean Warren is he is a virtuoso. It's just the Rat music didn't really require him to be Yngwie Malmsteen. So, and he had Robin Crosby as a rhythm guitar player, and now Carlos Cavazo. So, yeah, Polly's fun. Head over to Kill Tony 9, bomb, but I'm on to something 10. Tony sends me back to Mitzi. I have no idea what that means, Pigeon. You're going to have to write that in English. Uh, oh, yeah. It's like when I got trolled at Hackamania, the very first Hackamania I went to. And I mean, the stand up portion of Hackamania was a complete shit show. Um, and then we did a thing called Win Earl Skakel's Money. What up, Brad? And it was funny. And so there's this open mic comic, and he's doing pretty well. And someone yells out, "This guy's funnier than Earl. Fuck Earl," or whatever. And I stopped the show and I said, "Come on stage and say it to my face." It's easy to yell shit from the crowd. It's easy to say shit online. And I wasn't going to touch the guy, but I was just say it to my face. And mysteriously, the guy shut up real fast. Uh, I don't know what gribbing is, to be honest with you, so I have no stance. Yes, Brad, hit the like and subscribe button. And what part of Canada may you be from? Welcome aboard the Earlverse. As you can see by the numbers, we're a small but friendly channel. We don't. I love Canada. I love hockey, i.e., that's why I would love Canada. By the way, opening game Ontario, the Niagara Falls, they have a junior hockey team, I believe. Um, so, welcome aboard. The OHL, our best player in the LA Kings is Quentin Byfield, who I think he played for the Barrie Colts, if I'm not mistaken. I might be mistaken. All right, we got some people from all over the world. Les habitants. We got Patrick Laine, Cole Caulfield, the how do you say those two defenseman brothers' name? Xi. They're tough. They're popular. And the Ottawa Senators just traded for Curtis McDermott to go up against the Xi brothers. Um, so there you go. That's all right. Yeah, preseason hockey doesn't matter. Like it's a real shit show. So, um, I wouldn't be too concerned about a preseason loss to the Ottawa Senators. You're playing kids who are only going to play for your minor league team or older vets who are on a tryout. So, I mean, I think Montreal just lost a guy I love, Sammy Blaze. I think he just got picked up by Toronto. I was hoping the Kings might take a swing at him. I mean, he's a real shit stirrer. But, now he's on Toronto. So, there you go. Well, next year it's going to be even more. They're going to play 84 games. They're going to drop the number of preseason games, I think, to 2, which sucks for the bubble players because now they have fewer opportunities. So that's going to be interesting. Um, like this year, the Kings, they have a fourth line forward by the name of Jeff Malott, whose brother fights for the UFC. And he played really good in like 3 or 4 games in a row. So, next year, a guy like Jeff Malott will only have 2 games. And, one of those games is probably going to be for the veterans to, knock the rust off. So, you're going to have 1 game to like make a mark. Yeah, we don't Octagram. We don't do that kind of stream in here. What I'm going to do, and I believe I'm the only streamer that does this. I'm going to go on my YouTube page. I'm going to see who's live right now. So we've got Nobody Likes Onions. They're live right now. We've got Stuttering John is live right now. We've got Obnoxious John is live right now. So, we've got Who Are These Podcasts is live right now. So there are some definite. Perry Caravello is live right now. So I'm gonna request you go to Stuttering John's stream. I think he's more your stream, to be honest with you. It's all good, Ogden. I'm not for everybody, and everyone's not for me. Isn't that funny? You were born in Montreal and can't skate. If I was born in Montreal, I would have played in the NHL. Because I have a hard shot. I have an NHL speed shot, but yeah, 100% Octagram. I don't hate on you. My stream is just, I'm a stand-up comic, but I don't do jokes in here. What up, Tom? Oh, we got, you know what? I'm going to change a rule right now. I'm going to make a rule change right now on the fly. So moderators, listen up. We can talk Dabbleverse if Doom, Beloved Chatter, or the Legend of Tom Myers is in the stream. That's the new rule. So fire up your Dabbleverse questions. It's been a tumultuous day in the Dabbleverse with charges of sexual assault at Chrissy Mayer's thing, and I'm sure some of you have an opinion on that. I don't know who Nick Mullen is, to be honest with you. Yeah, your mom. I touched your mom's cell. It was nasty. Your mom was so weird. Her ass smelled cleaner than her pussy. Hey-oh, see what I did there? You threw me a line. I threw you a line back. That's how it works. I might even make Tom Myers a moderator. So my motto, death before dabble. That's a fact, Jack Rebel, the Uncanny. So welcome aboard, Tom Myers. But I can't make Tom Myers a moderator before Drunken Donuts. So you're going to have to wait a little bit for that, Tom. But fire up the Dabbleverse questions. I know, there's many Dabbleverse podcasts out there right now. I would, you can go to Who Are These Podcasts? And Tom Myers was on all over MLC. I can't believe he only did 12.5. I think that's a rumor. There's no way Connor McDavid is making $12.5 million and Kaprizov in Minnesota is making 17. Now they say that if that 12.5 is true, I did see one article saying that's so it's easier to trade them. So no, Tom is, Tom is here. Yes, I mean Tom Myers, legendary in the Dabbleverse, frequents the chat rooms, but now it might be the new third mic on MLC. You know, um, yeah, but I mean 12.5. I mean, I don't know if um, I don't know if you know, I don't like being a third mic or fourth mic on anyone's show. It just um, KB hates you. Well, we can talk about that waiver because Tom Myers is here. But I don't know if he makes millions from endorsements. To be honest with you, Fred Red, there's no way he's getting $12.5 million, and there's no conceivable way where Kirill from Minnesota, who's very good, is going to make $4.5 million more than McDavid's the best player in the game. If he only took 12.5 from Edmonton, that's a incredibly stupid agent. And I don't think he makes millions in endorsements. Hockey players just don't get that. I mean, CCM, no, yeah, he wears CCM gloves, so I'm assuming skates and sticks. Maybe 1 to 2 million. I mean, I guess that's a few million, but and then he might do some local commercials up in Edmonton, for like the Tim Hortons or something. But I can't imagine he makes that much. And I mean, I believe he's trying to force a trade to LA. I do remember Jova. And I'm not saying that just because I'm a King fan. I don't want him in LA from the standpoint of what we would have to give up to get him. We'd have nothing but McDavid on the team. Because if LA trades for McDavid, you're looking, and I'm not trying to start a rumor, I'm just saying you're looking at easily Byfield, your best young forward, Brant Clark, your best young defenseman by far, Liam Greentree, your best prospect by far. I mean, the Kings don't have a lot of blue chippers. And then you're looking at 2 to 3 number one draft picks. And what are you're gonna get McDavid and maybe Trent Frederick. So who's gonna be left on the Kings? You're gonna have a first line of McDavid, Adrian Kempe, and then wow. I mean, I don't know. Um, I mean, the NHL salary cap is going up, but like that's why I'm surprised McDavid would take 12.5. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, he might not care about money, but yowza, like there's no way he's taking 12.5. I mean, that's got to. I mean, I saw that rumor on Eklund's site, hockeybuzz.com, but that guy's full of shit. I mean, he literally is no more credible than you or I. Um, well, thank you, Tom Myers. I might make you a moderator just because of your lack of interest in the topics I talk about. Take it away, Tom. I mean, you lead the Dabbleverse conversation in here. It's the new rule for those of you just joining. Hit the like and subscribe button, of course, and then if beloved chatter Doom or the great Tom Myers are in the chat, we can talk about the Dabbleverse. S.Vision, I am not going to take fashion advice from you. I appreciate that very much. So once again, for those of you not really liking my stream, Nobody Likes Onions is live. We've got Stuttering John, Obnoxious John. Who are these podcasts? So you get your Dabbleverse talk there. You got Perry Caravello, who absolutely is the most unfunny person I've ever met in my life. And that's saying something because I work in roast battle. And then we've got, that's about it. So, got a hockey podcast, a TSN, 994 people watching. So, I mean, the deuces are wild here. I was just jelly of the way. Yeah, KB does like Tom Myers. Dabbleverse is on a spiral. That's a fact, Jack. I mean, now you have sexual assault allegations by what's that guy, Schizo Sean? You know, I mean, that's where it's not getting funny anymore, to be honest with you. You know, it's all a joke. You know, Gino can make fun of Chad. Chad can make fun of Kevin Brennan. Kevin can make fun of Tom Myers. Tom Myers can make fun of Carl. But, you know, when you're throwing around the grape allegation, that's like, come on, man. That is not, you know, I mean, I've already seen Mersh covering it. So, you know, it gets around. See, here's the problem with that. It gets around and around. And 4 days, you've got, you know, 15 fucking podcasts talking about it. And it's like, oh, Gino's a grapist. No proof, no nothing. It's just one guy said it. So that they all ran with it. You know, I mean, that's lawsuit material. So, you should interview Danny Heatley. I would interview Danny Heatley, but he probably doesn't want to talk about his fucking car crash with Dan Snyder. You know, I mean, Heatley, one of the great what if players. You know, I mean, what a great player he could have been. I mean, Alexander Daig, another player who, man, I mean, he had it all. Um, you know, I mean, he put up Mario Lemieux type numbers in juniors, and then just, I mean, let me look up Alexander Daig's numbers in juniors. I mean, the Kings had a player, but yeah, I mean, but you know, see, I take that shit very seriously, allegations, because I had an ex girlfriend. You know, some of you know this, but some of you don't. I had an ex girlfriend. It was a bad breakup, whatever that happens, and you know, she started, unbeknownst to me for years, telling people I hit her, I threw her down a flight of stairs. And so his best season, Alexander Day, for 91, he had 66 games, 110 points. 92, 93, he had 53 games. In only 53 games, he had 137 points. So, you know, he was the number one pick in the 93 NHL entry draft. So, you look like my old boyfriend. Well, I guess he was a good looking guy. Hello. Now, let's see who was picked after Alexander Daig. Now, this is always fun to watch just because. All right, Alexander Daig, he played 616 games in the NHL, had 327 points. So, I don't know if I would qualify him as a complete bust, but, you know, and then the second pick, Chris Pronger, great career. Chris Gratton, number 3, decent career, not great. Paul Correa, number 4. Niedermeyer, number 5. Kozlov, 6. Arnott, 7. Nicholas Sundstrom, 8. Tyler Harvey, 9. Jocelyn Tebow. So, I mean, I would say if you were the Ottawa Senators and you could redo, you might have picked Chris Pronger, maybe Paul Correa, but that just goes to show you, you know, I mean, let's look at Danny Heatley's numbers. Now I know you non-hockey fans are like, who the fuck are these guys? Well, you know what? Go to Rated Vito stream if you don't like this stream. I did like Scott Stevens until I heard about, um, you know, a sexual assault situation with him and a few other Capitals in a limo. I couldn't, well, I just couldn't get past that. All right, Danny Heatley drafted number 2 overall. Rick DiPietro, the first goalie I think ever picked at number 1 overall. That was probably a bust. So Danny Heatley, 869 games, 791 points. So I wouldn't say that was a bust, but you know, a, a good NHL career, but definitely not worthy of number 2. Now, not the number 3 pick that year, Marian Gaborik. He had a very good career, including winning a Stanley Cup with the LA Kings. Kleslov Columbus, you know, not a bad career, but not great. I mean, I'm going to go through the next player. I mean, wow, not a lot of great players in this particular draft. Now let's see. Let's see who had the most goals in this draft. Marian Gaborik. Yeah, Danny Heatley was number 2. I mean, Justin Williams. So you know, Darcy Hordichuk, my friend Darcy Hordichuk, who I met at the Shane Doan roast. So yeah, I mean that would be a interesting interview um, from Danny Heatley in terms of his career. There was an allegation against Bernie Jeffrion, who tried to pick up a woman on a train many years ago. Yeah, Korea and Solani were a great team. Um, but, getting back to Scott Stevens, one of my favorite players, but let's see if that story comes up. I forget. It was something that happened in a limo. Um, with a couple capitals. Okay, it does pop up. So May 1990, grape case involving Washington Capitals players. All right. In May 1990, while playing for the Capitals, Stevens was accused of participating in the grape of a 17-year-old girl outside a bar, alongside teammates Dino Ciccarelli, Jeff Courtnall, and Neil Sheehy. No charges wound up occurring, but it ended up being largely a he said, she said case, though a spokesman for the Metropolitan Police at the time stated that the police have sufficient grounds to believe that a criminal offense did occur. Um, so then it very likely happened, but got swept away and buried by the era it happened in. But nobody has any way to ever fully know. Yeah, I mean that's a tough one because um, it's a story that's not really um, talked about very much, which is surprising because Scott Stevens is one of the most known players of his generation. And so is Dino Ciccarelli. I mean, one of the great front net men. Um, so, you don't know. I mean, in that era, there's no cell phones, or there's no cell phones that could take pictures. So it's you either believe Scott Stevens or you believe the girl. And, there was a situation a couple of years ago with Team Canada's junior players that's come to light again. There's 5 players who allegedly did something in a hotel room to a girl that um, they shouldn't have. Um, the case was tried. The players were found not guilty. I mean, the girl's story had a lot of holes in it. And it really gained steam when she went home, I guess that night or the next day, and told the mom. And so most people think the mom just was upset that the daughter was not treated great by the players, but um, she had enough holes in her story where it was consensual. So now the controversy with that story is um, the 5 players are now eligible to come back in the NHL, and it's you know going to be interesting to see if any of the 5 players, with the prize of that group being Carter Hart, the goaltender, um, if any team will take a chance because the publicity behind that would be just awful. But they were found not guilty, so um, that's it's a tough thing to kind of talk about. I mean, there's rumors that Vegas might sign him. Um, well, you never know, Johnny. Like, a lot of people think in this junior Team Canada thing that the mom was like, went hell bent, scorched earth. You guys did that to my daughter, you're going to pay. In the Scott Stevens situation, I'll guess the girl's paid off. I don't know that, but so that's it's funny how this all leads back to the Dabbleverse. So when I woke up this morning, there was like 3 or 4 podcasts talking about, is Gino Bisconti a grapist? Because one guy went on, that Schizo Sean guy, tells the story of what happened to him at that weekend. And so, now that's going to make the rounds for the next 2 days. Kevin's going to cover it today. And, that's the dangerous thing is like, once it's out there, especially on the internet, I had a guy accused of sexual assault. It's kind of a similar situation to mine. his was sexual assault. This girl, my situation was the girl said I hit her, which I never did. But the girl accused this comic I know of rape, and I don't know, about 2 years later, she came out and said, "Hey, it was a bad breakup. I just, I wanted to hurt him, but it wasn't true." And he actually told me, like, I kind of wish I did it now because everyone thinks I did it, which is crazy, but I kind of get what he was saying. Yeah, Adam Foote's kid. Was it Cal Foot? Well, I don't know if he was good enough to play in the league full time. I mean, just speaking purely of, um, you know, being an NHL scout, the only one I personally would be interested in would be Carter Hart. But if I were him, I would go to a team that has virtually no hockey media. Utah maybe. Vegas doesn't have a tremendous. It's a winning team, but it's not like they have 20 reporters following the team around. And no, no, it did not. It did not. Um, so it's. Let's look at the Team Canada 5. So we've got. Let's see if it lists the players. Hockey Canada section. Okay. So we got a Wikipedia page. Let's see. You could go on the Wikipedia page. Um, let's see who the players were. It's got a list of players. Um, I know one was Carter Hart. And then it's not really listed. So, it'll be interesting to see if any of those. Foot might get picked up because he was, you all talk about the McDavid re-up. I can't believe he signed for 12 and a half. That's crazy to me. That's a horrible agent. With Kaprizov should not be the highest paid player in the league. He's a very good player. But if he's getting $17 million a year, then McDavid should be getting 20. So that's insane. Um, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I guess I don't know. So I'm you know yeah, I'm trying to get the names. It's you'd think these fucking there's horrible journalism here. So okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So here are the players in the Team Canada: Michael McLeod, Carter Hart, Alex Formanton, Dylan Dubé, and Callan Foote. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to guess Carter Hart has the only chance of like a legit NHL career. Foote maybe, um, but there was also the defense for the woman argued that she participated in it and was egging the men on at times, but later made up a false narrative to kind of cover up the tracks of her being a hoe. So, um, listen, they were acquitted. So it's, like I said, I think Carter Hart is the only really, um, guy who a team would take a chance on, because otherwise you're just, you're gonna. Callan Foote, he was good, but he's not someone that you take the social media and publicity, the bad publicity. The women's groups would be all over this, and so you know. Oh, Tom Myers talking politics. We got 5 more minutes, guys. 5 more minutes. All right, here's Capitals Kyprios says he saw the limo incident. Well, that's interesting because Nick Kyprios was in my on my podcast. Let me see. Let's read this. Now, this is from 1998. A Washington Capitals player told authorities that he witnessed several of his teammates struggling with a 17-year-old woman who claimed she was sexually assaulted in a limo outside a Georgetown bar. Nick Kyprios told investigators that he briefly stepped into the limousine but quickly exited when he saw the woman struggling with the other players. Kyprios appeared before court, grand jury. Another Capitals player, right wing Steve Leach, told investigators that he dated the alleged victim and that she called him later Saturday morning to tell him about the events. In her statement to authorities, she said the 4 players were Dino Ciccarelli, Jeff Courtnall, Neil Sheehy, and Scott Stevens. Interesting. So, that's an incident that I'm really blown away. Did not get more publicity, given that Scott Stevens was one of the best players in the league. But, you know, well, I think Carter Hart was very good on a bad team. So if you put Carter Hart in front of, say, the LA Kings, now the LA Kings aren't going to pick him up. But, the Kings play a great defensive game. So I would be incredibly surprised. I could see Vegas doing it. He's going to cost league minimum, backup goalie, but man, it's going to be a publicity nightmare for someone who is just that baggage is unfortunately it's going to follow him around forever. Now he was acquitted, so but if I'm a GM, if I'm an owner of the team, the second you sign him, you're going to be asked a million questions about it. The players on the team are going to be asked a million questions about it. To me, the juice ain't worth the squeeze. But a team like Toronto who's desperate for goaltending. I could see them, as they say in the business, doing a look-see. But I don't. Toronto would probably be the worst place in the world for him to go to with that media. They have like 20 reporters full time. The Kings have like 4, and 2 of those are like podcasters. So, it would, but the Kings don't need them. The Kings have one of the best goaltending depths. They've got Darcy Kemper. They've got Anton Forsberg, who I think will have a great year behind this defense. Waiting in the wings, Portillo, very good goaltender. Carter George and juniors, and I can't say his name, but the U.S. junior goalie Sladinsky, something like that. So they don't need Carter Hart, but going to a place that, if I were Carter Hart, I'd go, okay, Utah would be ideal. They probably have 1 reporter covering the team. Either that or, I don't know, you'd have to have maybe a team like Dallas where you could have some veterans like a Jamie Benn go, hey kid, I'll cover for you. You just worry about getting better and getting into your groove. I'll take the questions, something like that. I didn't watch the UFC, to be honest with you. Oh, they got Reimer back, yeah. But I could see them signing Carter Hart. You put him in where the Marlies play. So I think they play in the same arena as the Maple Leafs, right? I'm guessing on that. But and then you just try and navigate through the media. But in Toronto, Montreal, good luck navigating that shit. I just don't know if that's possible. So, yeah, that's a good point. Ottawa probably wouldn't be the best place for him to play. Toronto. Really any Canadian city. Chicago's close enough to Canada where you wouldn't. Buffalo, same thing. You got to take a look at a shitty team or, Utah's good. Well, Utah would be good for Carter Hart because it's a good team. They have a ton of draft picks coming, like a ton. So, Anaheim, I could see that, but they're not going to be a great team anytime soon. So I'm sure he wants to win, go to a winning team. But a winning team, do you really want to bring that shit into the locker room? You know, uh, and we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting, But I think Carter Hart will be, um, the only player from that five that will get an NHL offer. But well, I don't think. Yeah, but Carolina. Yeah, Carolina or Dallas. They would. I don't think two winning teams like that want to bring that into the locker room. Tampa or Florida. I mean, Florida would be great. I mean, Florida is a culture. But if you're Florida, you won two straight Stanley Cups. You really want to deal with, even though he was acquitted, it's going to follow him around the rest of his life. What up, Bill C? In the house. Yo, 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 yo. So I will be curious to see, and it's training camp's over, so he definitely would start in the minors somewhere. So if you look at a team like Seattle, might be a decent team for him to go to because their farm team literally plays in Palm Springs. So I'd stick him out there, let him play for a month, and then Seattle. Although it's a rabid fan base, what up, Birdie? So that could be a good. I mean, Seattle's farm team literally plays where Coachella is, so that could be an option. I mean, listen, there's going to be some people who don't think he paid his price. He bucked the system. He probably did it, but he got off because he was able to get a good lawyer. So, you know. All right, you kids, we'll go another 5 minutes. So please hit the like and subscribe button. That's all I ask of you. And this will probably be my last stream for today. I want you guys to miss me a little bit. I actually think in a weird way I've almost been streaming too much. But, we'll figure it out. Tom Myers is Baltimore's finest. Close enough to Canada. I mean, any team Ovechkin's on is going to be watched. So I would say the best teams for Carter Hart would be Utah. Realistic teams would be Utah and Seattle. I just don't think Dallas and Carolina are going to want to take the publicity risk. Tampa and Florida also, Vegas. Vegas is a bit of a wild card team, so I could see Vegas making a move, but it's going to be the talk of hockey wherever he goes, and then he'll have to let his performance speak for itself. So, what up? Oh shit, are you ready to rock? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. What up, Johnny Lamb in the house? Um, so, welcome. Good to have you back. Welcome to the new people. I see we just got a few new subscriptions. I appreciate that. And then, there's a new rule for some of you people coming in that we can talk about the Dabbleverse if Doom, Beloved Chatter, or Tom Myers are in the stream. Other than that, we talk about hockey, wrestling, anything but the Dabbleverse. So, I like to be different from the other streams, if you know what I'm saying. So, if you're in Los Angeles this weekend, I'll be at the Comedy Store Saturday night. Check that out. Free tickets. We'll have a drink in the back bar after. Nobody gets to go in the back bar unless you're escorted by a paid regular. So it's kind of a cool hang. Can we hate on Jeff the Loser Ross? Absolutely. That's always available. Um, the Dabbleverse, Bill, is a group of about 20 podcasters who all hate each other. It's like a battle royal. They go after each other. They accuse each other of sexual assault or some kind of ne'er-do-well activity. And so it's just interesting. It's a bunch of 30, 40, and 50-year-olds, and in some cases 60-year-olds, acting like little kids who drop their sucker in the sandbox. Would any AEW wrestlers make you watch WWE? MJF. I would love to see MJF in WWE. He wants a WrestleMania moment, but he might be content. Like AEW, it's a very lax schedule. You wrestle really once a week. Unless there's something going on. You either wrestle on Dynamite or Collision. Few wrestlers wrestle both shows the same week. You don't do house shows. So, they might, like I know Wrestle Dream is coming up. So you'll have 3 shows that week: Dynamite, Collision, and Wrestle Dream. So you might wrestle on 2 of those 3 shows. But AEW also does long matches, like 25-minute matches at times. So, you're probably not going to get on 2 of the 3 shows. So, um, I would agree with Tom Myers. We are all terrible people. I love it. I love it. I have no life either. All right, you guys. We got 2 more minutes. As soon as the clock hits 70 minutes, I'm going to walk Lois, my dog. I'm going to try and write some new dick jokes. And we'll reconvene at another time. So, I thank you guys for supporting my channel. And, you guys are soldiers in the Earl Army. And I welcome the trolls, The trolls, I let you speak your piece, And, there's also another rule in here. The trolls, I give you 3 chances to be funny. If you don't reach those 3 chances, you won't get a 4th chance. You'll be put in a 24-hour timeout to reevaluate. Now, I got to have a little peace and quiet on the Lois walk. No, we don't do aviation jokes in here, Thomas. Sorry about that. I think some of the trolls are actually pretty funny. But, like the one that just said, Skakel patrols. Fuck yeah, I do. You got to give me something to play with. If you just say you suck or you're old, you're gay, you're a pedophile, it's literally from the same joke book. The trolls aren't very creative, at least my trolls. No. And because I have a feeling you're going to anyway, Aviation with Thomas, I'm going to put you in 24-hour timeout. I can just sense a bad joke coming, so I got no tolerance for that shit. So, trolls, be better. We're going to stream tomorrow. You got 24 hours to be funny. Now, some of you are going to be like, well, Earl, why don't you be funny, bitch? Well, because I don't do stand-up in my stream. Yeah, I could just sense he was going to do the joke anyway. So, yeah, don't be a hack. Be cool. I'm ending right now. You can go to Kevin Brennan's stream and hear about Gino Bisconte being an alleged essayer. And you guys will probably go to that stream by the thousands. Tom Myers, yes, that is Tom Myers from WATP. Tom Myers from MLC. Tom Myers from the Insufferable Bastards Con. Tom Myers is like the Where's Waldo of the Dabbleverse. If you think Tom Myers is going to take a nap right now, he's going to hop right onto MLC. Earl Skakel, and over and out.